Hey there, welcome back to No Pants Profits. My name's Richard, coming to you today from my first stop on this cruise, which is to Juneau, Alaska. Now, unfortunately, we're not really in Juneau. We are tendering outside of Juneau. Now, the Carnival Luminosa is one of the newest ships in Alaska. And it being one of the newest ships in Alaska, there's no space for it. So it has to actually tender. But what's really cool today, they sent us a letter about this today. Now I'm on for the next cruise as well. What's really cool today is we're tendering until 5 p.m. It's 2 p.m. right now. We're tendering until 5 p.m. And then after 5 p.m., we're actually going to switch spots with the Carnival Spirit right over there. See, there's the Carnival Spirit. We're going to switch spots with the Carnival Spirit. But here's the question. What are we going to do today? Now, if it's your first time in Juneau, like my friend next that's coming with me on the next cruise, like a week from now, we'll be back in exactly a week, you go to Mendenhall Glacier, you do the standard things. It's not my first time in Juneau. We're gonna go do some really cool stuff today. And I wanna show you the stuff that the tourists usually gloss over. So we're not going to Tracy's Crab Shack. We're not going to the Mendenhall Glacier, but we are gonna go to the Alaska Brewing Company tap room. We are gonna go to a restaurant that overlooks the seaplane hangar that's kind of off the beaten path. And you'll see the seaplanes literally coming in right now. You see that it's off in the distance a little bit, but you should be able to see the seaplanes coming in right now. And that's just the wave coming up there. But we're going to go explore Juneau on a not paying for a shore excursion budget. And we're here for another, 10 hours. So let's see what trouble we get up to, get on a tender boat, and get over to Juneau. Now, of note, the tenders are only running out right now, so you cannot take a tender back to the boat. They're only allowing people to come back on the boat once the boat's docked, the ship's docked, after 5 p.m., when the Carnival Spirit is going to leave. And we are going to take its spot. So we have tender ticket number 14. We've just been called. And let's go ashore in Juneau and see what trouble we can get ourselves up to. Come along. As a note, there are no local tenders here, so your only option is to actually take one of the ship's lifeboats that's configured as a tender. You never want to see what these things actually look like as lifeboats because they're no fun as lifeboats, but as a tender, it's pretty okay. So it looks to be maybe a 3 or 4 minute ride to shore, nothing too crazy, and I think we're going to dock right next to where the Spirit is, and my thoughts. It's really funny to show you how much Juneau is not set up for tendering, that we actually have to bring our own ramp with us. They loaded a ramp on the tender, which is an interesting one. Again, you don't need a tender ticket if you are on a shore excursion. So next week, it's very unlikely that I'm going to need a tender ticket. But if you are going out independently, you want to make sure you grab yourself a tender ticket. They give them out at like 9:30 in the morning if you're tendering that day. I think that really depends on what other ships are in port. But you know, Luminosa is brand new to the Alaska rotation, and there's not a spot for it until another Carnival-owned ship, either Carnival, Princess, or Holland America leaves. And I think the Carnival Spirit's going to be leaving probably 4:30 or so, and that's why we can dock at 5 and we get to stay until midnight. I don't know what we're going to do till midnight, but we'll find out. And about a 4-minute tender ride later, we are in Juneau. Now again, you can only tender here today, which I don't know if it's going to be the same next week. We'll see. But since we got in a little late, we're going to leave a little late. So all aboard is 11:30 p.m. But we came off the boat on a tender, and we're going to come back on a dock. The only place I've done that is on like a river cruise before. But everything is right down in downtown Juneau. We're probably going to leave downtown Juneau on a bus from Alaskan Brewing if I can get up there and sign up in time, because I do want to visit their tap room of the Alaskan Brewing Company. So, big old steep ramp. Just be aware. So, if you are coming this way, it is not flat. It's about 35 to 40 degree grade. Not exactly 45, but 35 to 40 degree grade right here. And now we are at welcome to the laziest capital in the United States, Juneau. Anchorage actually got a lot bigger, and they never changed Anchorage and made it the capital. So Juneau is still the capital, although most, if not all, of the commerce actually happens in the Anchorage area. There's only 35,000 people that live in this town. It's very hard to access. That 35,000 is not even year round. This surges up. They actually get a whole bunch of people in to actually run all the tourist stuff in the summer, because I'd be walking in snow if we were here during the winter, and now the snow is just right up there. So this is Tracy's King Crab Shack. It is overpriced and not as good as a lot of the other places here. We're gonna probably have some crab at some point. I know we're having some next week. I don't think we're having any crab this week, because I'm not the biggest crab fan, but I got a friend that's a big crab fan, and he wants to do all the crab tours and stuff like that. So we'll probably do the crab stuff next week. But just kind of walk around the town, like I said, to see if I can get over to the brewery first. And we got a bunch of other places, but yes, Caraloha, Del Sol, all those, I hate to say it, crappy jewelry stores that are in the Caribbean. Yeah, they're here too. Alaska has built a culture that's very much like the Caribbean, but since it is in the US, they can't say it's tax and duty free. You actually do pay taxes on your stuff that you would happen to get in Alaska, and they even have a port and shopping map and a port and shopping guide on board. We'll tell you how crazy things are. So yeah, I want to see if I can find the depot for the brewery and get over to the brewery before it gets too late. Then we'll come back to town, explore a bit. So my genius self just crossed the street, and where we want to go is on the side of the street I just crossed from, and they do prevent you from crossing the streets in Juneau, except at very specific crosswalks that are like a block or two away from each other. So when you're getting off the ship, stay on the side where the ship is, and that will take you over to the Alaska Brewing Depot, where my favorite beer, well, let me say, yeah, I think it's a safe bet to say my favorite beer ever made is Alaskan Amber. And I haven't had any so far this trip, because they don't have it on the ship. All they have is Australian beer, because it's all left over. So why would they get on Alaskan beer before they get rid of all of their Australian beer? But the Alaska Brewing Public House is where you can get the beer right here, which is what I might do when I'm waiting for the shuttle. But you have the Alaska Brewing Depot, which I think Alaska Brewing is actually owned by someone bigger now. But I want to take the free shuttle to the tasting room. So I am going to go in and ask about that free shuttle to the tasting room, because I want to take you guys to the tasting room. This town will be bright and everything open until pretty late. So let's try and get out of the town. All right, so we have the sign-up list. It's right up by the register, and for the 3 o'clock departure, I'm going to be the first victim. So I'm excited. I'm going to go next door, have some Alaskan Amber, and then take a ride over. This was not open last year due to COVID, but I'm very happy that the shuttle is back to go over to the Alaskan Brewing Company tasting room. So I was talking to the employees here, just so you know, the last shuttle to the tasting room is at 4 o'clock. Now that's kind of tight if your ship gets in late like the Luminosa did, and the last shuttle back is when they take, it's called the drunk bus, they take all the drunks back at about 5:30, 6 o'clock. No need to worry, we're gonna have plenty of time to come back to town, but I'm really, truly getting a hankering for some Alaskan Amber, and yes, I mean, I can get Alaskan Amber merchandise here, like a really cool Alaskan Amber growler, which I kind of sort of really want, but I don't have the weight in my luggage for, so I probably can't have it even though I want it. But I can make that decision next week, because I'm back again next week. $60, so it's a bit expensive. But we got a whole bunch of different branded stuff. There was something I lost a few years ago. I wonder if they have it here. No, they don't. No. I'm looking. It was a bottle opener. I lost my Alaskan Amber bottle opener years and years and years and years ago. And I don't know if they even make it anymore, which is kind of sad. I don't see it. Ooh. But they do have the handles, which is pretty cool. So they sell the handles. Oh God. I love this thing right here. Look at this. It's like an Alaska Brewing chef's apron with a retractable. That's very, 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 very tempting. Let's get a beer and I'll be back with you. So I'm waiting for the shuttle over at the Alaskan Brewing Company brew house, and I ordered some Alaskan amber. Yep, oh, he's came with my amber right now, so I've got my Alaskan amber. Now, we're going to the Alaskan Brewing Company in a couple minutes. The shuttle wasn't until 3 o'clock, so had some drinking time beforehand. My favorite beer ever. And this is my first sip of it, and you're gonna watch this. My first sip of it since last time I was in Alaska. So maybe 380 days? Ooh, that's good. It's a great amber. It doesn't have the bite or anything like that. So I got me an Alaskan amber, which I'll have plenty more of in my time in Alaska. We just got into Alaska. Technically about 9 o'clock this morning we got into Alaska. And then I got a beer cheese soup as well. So this is the beer cheese soup with barnacle everything soft pretzel, served with a brown butter basted pretzel stick and dusted with barnacle everything seasoning. I'm not one of those people that's afraid to eat on camera, because guess what? I don't care. You want to make fun, you make fun. How much you know this is any good? I've never had this before. Ooh. It's a lot more complex than most beer cheeses. I like it. Let's try the pretzel real quick. I highly recommend over here at the, what is this called? This is the Alaskan Brewing Company Public House. It's right next to where you sign up to get on the shuttle. So if you got yourself a half hour before the shuttle comes, start pre-gaming before you get to the brewery. And just to show you just how close we are, I mean, that's the cruise ships right there. Now, obviously, not our ship, because we're tendering right now. That's actually that is the Radiance of the Seas from Royal Caribbean. That's the end of the shuttle to the brewery, which is leaving in 23 minutes. So I may have had a few beers and chatted with some locals. I will tell you, the locals here all moved in a week and a half ago, because this is the second week of cruising in Alaska. So a week and a half ago, met someone who was working here from Texas, 2 people from Florida, one person from Mississippi. Seems like all the people that live in the warm states want to come over here and do all of the hospitality jobs that are in Alaska, because the residents here, don't want to do that work, or their managers, because they're here year-round, but they bring in whole sets of people just to run Alaska for the season. So you'll see people from all over, and if you want to make good money, you're watching this and you're like, oh, I want to make some good money, you could come work in a place in Alaska. They provide you room and board and everything like that, and it's kind of like working on a cruise ship. And they just have sex like rabbits. How do I know that? Because they're all young, horny American teenagers. I'm a very blunt person here, but I am waiting for the bus. We've got about 6 more minutes till that bus is going to come and give us a ride over to the Alaskan Brewing Company tasting room, which I've not been to since COVID. I think they moved it and stuff like that. It's not really a brewery tour. The brewery's across the street, but they have a virtual brewery tour, and ooh, that was the beer. And you could try some beers that you can't get anywhere else, because they make like 1 keg of it and then they throw it away. The cool thing is, after that, we're gonna do a whole brewery tour and a distillery tour of downtown Juneau. Because why? Because why not? So bus is coming soon. Let's get on board and head to the Alaskan Brewing Tasting Room. All right, so I am riding out with Matt. We are in the Alaska Brewery Mobile, and we are riding out to the tasting room for Alaska Brewing, which is still really cool. I was saying this earlier, employee owned, and employees, the guy next to me owns some shares of the company because I've been with them long enough. I love to see that. I love to see, and I hope it never gets sold, but maybe it'll get it to Florida where I am. But I am a huge fan of Alaskan Amber, and you'll just see how the environment changes when you leave town. It started pouring right as we were leaving, but as the environment changes, you still got snow on the top of the mountains and everything like that. So when we get over to the tasting room, that'll be quite an experience. Unfortunately, they can only serve you 32 ounces because they are not a bar. So Alaska Tasting Room licenses say 32 ounces. There's good news though. We have this brewery, and then we have 4 more breweries in town, plus a distillery or 2. So we're going to take that 32 ounces per place to the absolute maximum. So we have made it to the Alaskan Brewing Company tasting room. You'll see right here. And it's on the site that they actually make all the beer. This is their actual beer production facility right over here. Those big ass tanks right there, that's for Alaskan Amber, their #1 seller by a mile. And you've got all these trucks right here, and these trucks here are actually filled with empty cans. They fill the trucks with the empty cans. They come over on a barge. They put their beer in it. The entire production line is right here. So they'll fill their trucks with empty cans, put their beer in it, and put it back on a ship. But guess what? You say, Rich, we're in Alaska. We've gone to the Alaskan Amber Tasting Room. Now, the Alaskan Brewing Tasting Room. Now, it's a free shuttle. And I'm going to have some beer. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to have some beer. But on our way in, literally across the street from the tasting room, see, there's the tasting room. Literally across the street from the tasting room, I'm not cutting this video, there is the world's smallest Costco. I love Costco. I've been to this Costco before, but I've never been to this Costco on video before. So we are going to go ahead and we are going to go tasting room behind me. Gonna give it a couple seconds. Still. Tasting room behind me. Tasting room behind me. Home Depot in front of me. We are not in town. We're about 7 miles out of town. And look, rotated around. Costco. We are gonna go visit the smallest Costco in the world, because that's what you do when you go to Alaska. You visit the smallest Costco in the world. Am I crazy? Yes. Do you watch this channel because I'm crazy? I hope yes. So venture along with me. The guy who actually has a lifetime Costco membership. I might tell you that story one day, how I have a lifetime Costco membership, because it's really an unbelievable story. As we go to the world's smallest Costco, which is in Juneau, Alaska. Their Walmart went out of business many years ago, but their Costco is still open. Now I know, when I said I was going to the world's smallest Costco, you all had one question in your brain. And I had one question in my brain too. Do they have samples? The answer is, yes, they do. We got a pita chip with a spinach dip. Look at that. And some Italian-style meatballs, which I'll have to get after I finish the pita chips, because I don't have another hand right now. But yeah, this looks like a normal Costco, but it's just tiny. Like, you can see the checkout. Look, watch. We're back in the freezer section of this Costco. You see, look, dried cured bacon. Well, that's the refrigerator section. Here's the freezer section. We got some chicken tenderloins, some chicken wings, and all that in the freezer section. See how long it takes to walk from the freezer section to the checkout. It is, we got a third sample, fourth sample, fifth sample. Holy crap. They had a lot of samples in the world's smallest Costco. There's like 9 samples in the world's smallest Costco. And we are at the register.
It's not there. Nobody in there.
So you can see it's kind of an adventure in its own. But in Juneau, Alaska, we've got the world's smallest Costco. And yeah, they only have like like a third of the number of TVs that other Costco's have in them. I mean, you know, the Costco's are normally packed, jam full of TVs. This just has a tiny number of TVs. And I think there's also one other question we have to answer before we leave this Costco. You know what the question we have to answer is. Are the hot dogs still $1.50? Yes, I don't have a hand, so I still have my chips. I'm gonna go back and get the rest of those samples because they look pretty good. Are the hot dogs still $1.50 here? That is the question. And the answer to that question is a resounding yes. The hot dogs are still $1.50 at the world's smallest Costco. I'm gonna eat this sample and go get the other samples, and I think we're gonna go to a brewery after that, but you really can't pass up the chance to visit the world's smallest Costco on your way to the Alaskan Brewing Company tasting room. So at Costco, I actually picked myself up some late night munchies for the ship, you know, that I can have along with my late night pizza. It's some Girl Scout Thin Mint pretzels. Not something I've seen before. It was a sample. It was good. It tastes like Thin Mint cookies, but on pretzels. So, yeah, Girl Scout Thin Mint pretzels. The smallest Costco in the world in Juneau, Alaska. Cool. So on my way to get the flight, I decided to get a beer that was, not a beer, sorry, beer's on the brain. Decided to get a pizza that was not at the Costco food court. They actually have some food trucks outside of the brewery, and this one is called Forno Rosso, and it was on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives in 2019. So Guy was here. What did Guy have? The rain beer?
Yeah, the rain beer and another one that we call the triple goose special.
Oh, you had, okay. So he had I'm getting the rain beer, which is Alaskan amber white sauce, Indian Valley reindeer sausage, onions, Jarlsberg cheese, which I was like, I haven't asked the lady working here, I'm like, what is Jarlsberg cheese? And it's like, kind of tastes like a healthier version of Swiss cheese. So totally cool with that. So I'm gonna go inside, I'm gonna order some beer, and then my reindeer sausage, which has reindeer, not sausage, pizza, which has reindeer sausage and beer baked in, I know, right outside of the Alaskan Brewing Depot, Forno Rosso, which, oh, that's really cool. I didn't even notice that. That's actually like an entire pizza oven inside that truck. So there's like a stone pizza oven inside that truck. But we're gonna leave from there, which they're gonna text me when my pizza's ready. We're gonna walk a couple feet right behind me, over my shoulder. That's the Costco, all the fun you can have out at the brewery. And we are gonna go get 32 ounces of unique stuff over at the, I call it the Alaskan Amber Beer Company. That's what I know them for. But over at the Alaskan Beer Company, we are going to get 32 ounces, because that's all they can serve us, is 32 ounces, because they're a tasting room, not a brewery, over at the Alaskan Brewing Co. Look at the reflection in there of the mountains, and like that's the coolest. At the Alaskan Brewing Company tasting room. Their dog-friendly entrance is around back. Let's take a look and see what we got in the Alaskan Brewing Company. Wow, that's actually very pretty. Alaskan Brewing Company tasting room. I'm gonna decide what I'm gonna get, and I'll be right back with you. All right, so now we are inside of the tasting room at the Alaskan Brewing Company, the first of many tasting rooms we're going to be visiting in the next few hours. And they do have this stupid card, which it's not a punch card. You don't want to win it, because if you take a look, this tracks how much alcohol you've had. You don't need a breathalyzer. They're only allowed to serve you in a tasting room 36 ounces of beer and seltzer and up to 12 ounces of mixed drinks. So they cannot serve you over 36 ounces of alcohol in total. So we got the Rocky Coast, which is a IPA. This is 4 ounce pours. So we're gonna do 3 tastings. Rocky Coast, which is an IPA. The Raspberry Wheat, which is a a beer of some sort, and a chocolate cake stout, which is cool. And again, kind of hate this thing, but the cool thing they also have is they have soda. So they have an orange cream soda that they make here on site for the designated drivers. I heard about this, and I heard it's friggin' amazing. So, ooh, and hey, guess what? There's no limit on soda, so you can get as much of the soda as you want. You don't have to worry about the stupid card on soda. That is good. It is refreshing. It is creamy. It is orangey. It is orangey, and it is creamy. No complaints there. I'm trying to figure out what that one is. The raspberry wheat is a apricot series? Pilots? Oh, I guess I'm an idiot. Raspberry wheat's a wheat beer. I haven't even drank that much yet. So Rocky Coast is an IPA. Not generally a fan of IPAs, but this is from the company that makes my favorite beer. I'm not gonna lie. Not really a fan of that one, but might go well with that reindeer pizza, which we're gonna have in a minute. Then we got the raspberry, which raspberry wheat, no shit, it's a wheat beer. That's pretty good. And then last but not least, I'm not the biggest stout fan in the world, but again, when I go to these breweries, I don't care. I let the employees choose for me. You know why? Because the employees know what sells. The employees know what sells. There's my taste, and there's what sells. And as weird as it sounds, I'd rather taste what sells than what I actually like. So, wow. It's a stout that kind of tastes like German chocolate cake. Great mouthfeel, great after finish mouth taste. I got that first flight. I'm gonna share with you my second flight and my third flight, because trust me, we are filling that bad punch card. And once we fill that bad punch card, we're gonna go back to town and we're gonna fill more bad punch cards, because that's just what we're doing today. And visiting Costco's for some reason. Who knows what other mischief we are going to get up to tonight. So I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna get my pizza, and we'll see how that goes. The Rain Beer Pizza over here at the Alaska Brewing Company tasting room. It's like Christmas morning. My Rain Beer Pizza just arrived. I've not opened it yet because I want you to be able to see it exactly when I do, because that's how we do stuff on this channel. So it came nice and wrapped up. Guy Fieri had this pizza and liked it. It's Rain Beer. Oh, fancy looking. Smells amazing. It really smells great. But I think it's time. I'm gonna get one of them nice reindeer chunks right there. Really compare it to normal pizza, so I can't say it's like the best pizza or the worst pizza I've ever had, but it's definitely good and it's definitely unique. That's kind of all you're looking for. It's also definitely hot, so I'm gonna have some of my soda, orange cream, to quench my thirst right there. We got 2 more flights to go after this, so let me have some pizza, let me have some flights, and we'll see how we're doing after that. On to flight number 2. I already have half my pizza left, but I got 3 flights total I can get. I did try a different soda, so before we get into the alcohol, I tried a different soda. This is a blackberry pineapple soda, and you see, got half my pizza left. But this flight's gonna slap a little bit harder than the last flight, and we'll explain why in a minute. Ooh, that's good. Yeah. Wow. That's a really good soda. Bring the kids here. Bring the kids to the brewery, because that's a smart idea. But their sodas are really good. Designated driver sodas, kid sodas. Bring the kids here. Mommy and Daddy can have a drink. Nobody's driving, so you're good. This blackberry soda and then orange cream soda. Their designated driver drinks are really damn good. But we got cocktails. As of a month ago, Alaska Brewing Company has opened a new branch called Alaska Distilling Company, and they make a Moscow Mule, a Rainforest Gin and Tonic, a Solstice Vodka Lemonade. So we've got those three things right here, ready to go. Unfortunately, our punch card is starting to fill up in a bad way. So we got 3 left after this, but we've got the Rainforest Gin and Tonic. I don't know if this is just a standard gin and tonic, but let's see. You'll see my reactions live. I don't like gin and tonics, so. I mean, it's a gin and a tonic. There's not really much else to it. Just a pre-made, ready-to-go cocktail. But now they're a distiller in the past few months. This is probably the one I like the best, which is a vodka mule. Not a Moscow mule, not a Ukraine mule, just a, just a vodka mule. Ooh, that's good. Now, I've had some of these from, I think Cutwater makes them. This is actually a lot better than what Cutwater makes. It's simpler, it's wetter, if that makes sense. Cutwater's is very dry. I know it's liquid. Cutwater's is very dry, but it's wetter. And then last but not least, we've got the Solstice Vodka Lemonade. That is refreshing. Solstice Vodka Lemonade. I didn't really love the first one, but the second two, I'd drink any day. I'm very happy they're expanding to distilling, because that means, come on, that means we're going to get their beer to the east of the Mississippi. We're going to get their beer to the east of the Mississippi, hopefully soon. Now, for these last 3, I'm going to look at the board and I'm going to choose, because I've got to choose your own adventure of 20 different options. I know if there's 20 different options, I've had 5 of them already. So I got to choose another 3 out of the remaining 15 here, and I'm not really sure which ones I'm going to choose. So we'll find out in a few minutes' time. I do have about half an hour or so till the bus comes to pick us up and bring us back to Juneau. I will tell you, I think pricing is important. These flights, so I'm getting a flight and a soda every time, and it's $12. That's actually really respectable, good deal for a beer flight. Now, generally, you'd pay about $20, and you'd get 4 of them instead of 3. But the flights are literally like $7. This is the cheapest brewery I've ever been to. I don't understand what's going on here. Now, a lot of people in town told me it's because locals come here, not many tourists come here. But yeah, this is the cheapest brewery for flights I've ever been to, and we're in goddamn Alaska. And I think really why that is, I want to show you one more thing on video that I think is really cool. They have a lot of experimental, what they call crew brews here, and they actually have a feedback form, something I've never seen in a brewery before, saying, how do you feel about the soda? How do you feel about the seltzer? How do you feel about the beer? And people actually fill in these orange cream appearance. Okay, look at this. I don't want to show people stuff, but that's one I want to try, is the oaked amber. The fact that it says excellent means that I'm going to make a very, very good choice. Just so you can freeze frame it if you want to, I'll show you the boards. So what they have available on board number 1, that's 1 through 10. And this says board number 2, it's 11 through 20. This is going to be a 4K or 1080 video, so you 100% should be able to pause and take a look at those boards. I'm going to finish my pizza, finish these hard drinks right here, and move on to set number 3, where finally I get to decide what I drink instead of leaving my fate up to someone else. I'd finally fill out my sad punch card. Unfortunately, I have filled my card of shame. You will see I cannot have any more beer here, but there are other breweries I can have beer at. So I got, for my last set, I got the Smash Galaxy, which is an IPA with some weird wheat that's from here. I got an Oaked Amber, which is actually their Alaskan Amber, but in oak barrels. And I got the Seltzer, which is a Mai Tai. So I've tried 9 different alcoholic drinks plus 2 non-alcoholic sodas, and I even got my swag. Let's see if it's going to show backwards. Yeah, it is. I got my Alaskan Amber, or Alaskan Brewing Company, and then I've got all of my Alaskan Amber bottle opener gifts for people. So I'm going to shotgun these beers in like 5-6 minutes, and then we got to go back to Juneau, back to downtown Juneau. Driver's right here. We got 4 other people that are riding along with us, and we're done on this excursion, this self-made excursion, over to the world's smallest Costco and the Alaskan Brewing Company, and it's only 5 o'clock. So we did this all in like 2.5 hours. In the scheme of things, that's actually quite impressive, but what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to town, and we're going to get our 32 ounces other places, and then we're going to go to Hangar on the Wharf for dinner, and who knows what other mischief we're going to get ourselves into. Stick around. You know, in my drunkenness, I forgot to taste these beers with you. I tasted the first beer, and I was like, so sad. So, Smash Galaxy. Let's start here. I don't really like IPAs. This is an IPA. I had a sip of it. I like this IPA. Now, maybe because I just had some pizza or something like that, but it works. I haven't tasted the other ones. Just tasted this one. I'm like, wait, I showed you all of them. This is what happens when you have your 32 ounces. Good beer. Next up, Oaked Amber, which is the Alaskan Amber, like the famous one, but it is done in oak barrels. Oh, it's got a little coffee added to it too. Yeah, you got that coffee aroma. There was smell-o-vision. You could smell that coffee aroma, but smell-o-vision is not a thing yet, unless you're in a theme park. I don't like coffee. I make that very clear. But it adds something here. And unfortunately, this one's near kicking, so by the time you get here, Oaked Amber might not be around. That's one of those craft brews that they made just for use here, but by the time you get here, it might not be a thing. And last but not least, one of my favorite cocktails. I love tiki. If you know anything about this channel, you've probably seen tiki bars and stuff like that. If you haven't, definitely go ahead and check out some tiki bar shit on this channel, because there's some cool stuff. But the last one is the Mai Tai. Now, this is a seltzer. Now, let's talk about why companies make seltzers. You can sell a seltzer for the same price as a beer, and it costs 1/3 of the price of a beer to make it. Because seltzers are mostly water. Bud Light is mostly piss, so it's a beer that's basically water and urine. But real quality beers are 3 times more expensive than a seltzer, or should I say a seltzer is 1/3 the price of a beer. So all these breweries have said, well, shit, let's make some seltzer. So we've got the Mai Tai seltzer. It does smell like a Mai Tai. It's got those tropical flavors. Complex. You know, as weird as it sounds, unless you go to a tiki bar, that's better than most Mai Tais I've ever had before. Like actual cocktail Mai Tais. They really did nail the mixture here. Now, next week, I have my friend travel with me, who's kind of a Mai Tai expert. So he's going to get this. And, you know, we got 2 microphones. So maybe he will review this next week and give you his thoughts on this seltzer. We'll have to see. So, you know who you are, friend who's coming next week. He's a YouTuber as well. But I don't know if he wants to be on camera or not. So he's going to decide, or maybe he wants to do his own thing. But we'll definitely be back here next Thursday. And it's a pretty good winner here. We got a couple minutes till the shuttle comes. That's going to take us back to Juneau, like I said in my last video. And we're going to go on from there. The cool thing is the sun doesn't go down here till like 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night. We're going to ask Siri. I hate Siri, but hey Siri, what time is sunset tonight? 9:14 p.m. Problem is at 9 o'clock it's going to be 45 friggin' degrees outside. So yeah, let's see where this night takes us. We just got to be back on board the Carnival Luminosa by 11:30 p.m. And we will be. And we're going to go and pass out right to sleep. And tomorrow, Skagway. One of my favorite towns in the goddamn world. Stay tuned. All right, so we made it back to town. And the next place is Devil's Club Brewing. So it's just a slight walk from the cruise ship. It's called Devil's Club Brewing. I have been here before. Let's go. Ooh, they got grilled cheese. I like grilled cheese. Pretzels and beer cheese. A fatty pickle. I'm gonna get a fatty pickle. But let's take a look. Yeah, they're open until 8 p.m. A beautiful brewery right here. Let's turn around. And there's literally a little sign that says Tri-Flight. So, oh God, even better. Frozen beer slushy. Oh my God. This all actually looks good, even though there's a beer called Ethiopia. Let's talk to someone and see what we get. But I'm definitely getting show you here, a fatty pickle right here. All right, so we got our first flight from Devil's Club. I've got the little secret here. We got the signature IPA, the Magic Musk, which is a beer. I don't really know what type of beer it is, and a slushy. So this one's actually frozen, and like I said, I'm not a false advertiser. I did get a giant pickle. If any of these beers are terrible, I'm gonna make them go away with a pickle. This is at Devil's Club Brewing, literally walking distance from the ship. You don't need a shuttle to get here. This is their signature IPA. Now, I'll tell you something funny. This was nearly double the price of the Alaskan Brewing Company. For the same flight, the same three. I want to try it anyway, I don't care. But I mean, I might not get 3 flights here. I might get 2 flights here. But it's the same price, double the price for the same beer. But I don't like IPAs. That's a good IPA. I don't think those are words I would generally say. I don't have a pizza or something to kind of counteract it, but that's a good IPA. What is the other one? I'm not really sure what type of beer this next one is. It's called the Magic Musk. Maybe it's Elon Musk. Who knows? Smells good. Okay. You know what that beer calls for? It calls for a pickle. Pickle special, Blue Light special, 3, pickle. Not a fan of that beer. That's a drippy pickle. But pickle helps. I'm gonna polish this real quick. And then this frozen one down here is a mango. I'm gonna have the mango one. A little tart. I'm okay. I kind of expected that. You know what? Other than that middle beer, which is now gone because I masked it with a pickle, they're all okay. I'm not loving any of these. Alaska Brewing Company quality, so I'm going to be honest with you. This is going to be a one-and-done flight. Had their beers. I'm going to look at their menu, make sure there's nothing I love. If there is, I'll come back with you. But I didn't even look for the menu. I just asked the 3 most popular ones and a pickle. Let's see where we wind up next. Hey, look, I know by this time what y'all thinking. This fat guy likes beers and he don't like liquor. The cool thing is they've got a distillery here. Amygdala? A-M-A-G-A-L-G-A. I'm going to call it Amygdala Distillery. We're going to go have some liquor right now because liquor in the front and poker in the back. What was this guy talking about? Now, they did have something that came today, a raspberry gin. Maybe they still have it not bottled, but it is sold out that way. Let's go try some liquor. I mean, just look where we are. Like, I have to point this out. Like, if you've never been to Alaska before, look, you're like, okay, look, it's a distillery. Okay, look, the water's coming down the mountain. Like, that's not 2 shots. That's one continuous shot. Michael Bay couldn't do this. You're like, look at that. Look at that scenery right outside of the distillery. So let's go into the distillery and let's see what they got. They're open daily from 1 p.m. until 8 p.m. and they got something frozen. I love me some frozen. Something's telling me something. The color tells me. The color says that's a Moscow Mule. Something tells me that's a Moscow Mule. But I may be incredibly wrong, but it does look like a very pretty distillery. And we're going to go ahead. Oh, there's their still over there. You can kind of see it in the background. Maybe that still's just for show. Let's go look at the still. No, that looks like a legitimate still. So let's see if we can get a tasting of some of what's going on in this distillery, amygdala, something like that. Who knows? So they have a sign that explains the bullshit of Alaska here, and I have to show you. It says, 2-drink limit, no games, not even cribbage, which some may argue is not a game but a way of life. No stools at the bar, no live music. So don't sing and leave that banjo at home. No dancing, yeah, we know. Just like Footloose, and no fun. We want you to have fun. The state of Alaska does not want you to have fun. Seriously, this is state law. Fire your goddamn state representatives. Vote them out. The problem is no one actually lives here, that works here, or tours here, so it's never going to change overall. So I was wrong. That it's not a Moscow Mule. It is a banana daiquiri slush, which has banana, agave, their gin that they actually make here, and that still I showed you earlier, orange liquor, which is actually alcohol-free, and lime. Now let me sample this before I chose it. I didn't bring my breathalyzer today, but I think my voice will tell you where we are. Pretty damn reasonably priced. $7. Nice big pour. That Devil's Club is just kind of out of the ordinary. We're gonna go, all the breweries close at 8, so I think we're only gonna have time for 1, maybe 2 drinks at each. But this is a distillery. Everything closes at 8, and then after 8, we're gonna go to the hangar on the wharf, and then after that, we're gonna see what the hell is open after that before we go back to the boat. But yeah, I gotta show you the name. A-M-A-L-G-A. Amygdala. Here, A-M-A-L. Hold on, let's. G-A. If you're a Google person, it's near the end of the street before you leave downtown. It's one of the most out-of-town breweries you're gonna find, and they even have not brewery. Sorry, I said brewery. I meant out-of-town distilleries that you're gonna find. But quite interesting, and let's not lie, quite a busy spot as well. I really don't think I'm gonna beat this drink. This drink is, we're late enough in the video. It's like an hour in. Who the hell knows? This drink is fucking delicious. Banana daiquiri slush. Banana and orange and lime. It's like a banana Moscow Mule. And it's frozen. And I'm in Alaska. It's supposed to be 48 degrees out. It's like, hold up while we're here. Hey Siri, what's the temperature outside in Juneau? Now, it does not feel like 48 degrees outside. Maybe I'm just fat. Or maybe it's not actually 48 degrees outside. Who knows? I guess we'll see. Coming from the Amalga Distillery. And yeah, I'm gonna have one more of these. Sorry to my liver. Because this, I've even given up on the straw. This is fire right here. For cocktails, best cocktail I've had of the day so far. One more of these, not gonna be shown on video. We're gonna hit some other breweries before they close. Hey look, I told you I wouldn't come back and show you number 2, but I got no shame. That's number 2. Banana orange daiquiri. I don't even like gin. But this is fire. Over at the, I can't pronounce it. How do you pronounce the name of this distillery? Amalga. Okay. Over at the Amalga Distillery. I guess it's an amalgamation of different things. And for some reason, right next to their merchandise, they actually sell smoked salmon. Is that real? No. There's real smoked salmon, smoked herring, smoked octopus, and that's some weird stuff. They got some bitters. Ooh, those bitters are actually quite interesting. Portland Bitters Project. A whole bunch of different sea salts. And one of my favorites, those tall boy cups with the, oh wow. Yeah. Really kind of cool and unique merchandise here in the, we finally know how to say it. The Amalga Brewing Company here in Juneau, Alaska. We got a couple more breweries to hit up. Then who the hell knows what's going to happen for the rest of the night. We're going to keep watching on time, but we still got hours before we get back to the ship. Hey look, I'm going to the bathroom and I'm being warned something that I don't need to know. Drinking alcoholic beverages such as beer, wine coolers, and distilled spirits, or smoking cigarettes during pregnancy can cause birth defects. Also, it's funny, because Alaska's like one of the most Republican states in the country, and all these breweries and distilleries have nothing but all-gender bathrooms. So, the good news is, it's the seasonal residents that don't vote here that are making these decisions. There are men's bathrooms, there are women's bathrooms. That's the way it is. Stand to pee or sit to pee. All gender don't mean nothing. And I'm drunk enough, I'm putting politics in here. So. All right, so we are at our next brewery. All the breweries close at 8 o'clock around here. So we're going to have to go have dinner, then we'll go to a bar. But I'm trying to show you some shit to do that the cruise ship is not advertising. Nothing I'm talking about is going to be, I still have it. It's going to be on this stupid map. Next week, we might do things on this stupid map, but this week, nothing I'm talking about is going to be on the stupid port and shopping map. So this is the Barnaby Brewing Company, and this is our next stop. They're playing a lot of copyrighted music inside, and YouTube hates copyrighted music. But let's go ahead and let's go now to the Barnaby Brewing Company here in Juneau. Yeah, they're open daily. That's a small friggin' window, like 5 hours a day, from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. But it looks like a pretty cool brewing company. So let's jump on inside and hope that the copyright music of "Walk This Way, Aerosmith, Talk This Way, Aerosmith." We're not talking about Aerosmith. I'm just trying to not have the music go. Kind of a very bare bones, and I like it. Kind of reminds me of some breweries near me in South Florida. So I'm excited. I'm gonna get a flight, maybe, and have some good stuff here. All right, so we are at Barnaby. We've got the Barnaby Brewing Company in Juneau, Alaska. This is not a beer. This is root beer. What's really cool is all the brewers know they're fucked here with their 36 ounce bullshit. So, ooh, that belongs in Skagway right there. Now you might say, why does that belong in Skagway? You're gonna come along tomorrow with Skagway, and you're gonna see that's like old-fashioned sarsaparilla. What really kind of created, what's the name? Oh God, too much beer. Created Frontierland at Disney is really Skagway. That is a really good root beer here at Barnaby Brewing Company. But we ain't here for the root beer. We're here for the beer. So let's go to the beer. We've got a hazy IPA, a hoppy red ale, a Belgian table beer, and a hef. Now, some of you, just like me, are going, what the fuck is a Belgian table beer? A Belgian table beer is a Belgian beer, but it's a very low ABV. And that very low ABV lets you serve it to children. Their Belgian table beer is like 2%. So it's not even going to mess up children. But let's go ahead. We're going to start with their hazy IPA. I like to do this live. I like to show you reactions. You could see my face. If the beer is shit and I have to eat a pickle, that'll be like 2 breweries ago, Devil's Club. So this is the Barnaby Co. Brewing Hazy IPA. I hate IPAs. But why do I get IPAs? Because if I can tolerate them, that means they're good.
Thanks for coming in.
That almost tastes like a hef. That's a good beer. Same beer. Oh look, the beer's gone. Then we got a hoppy red. I love reds, I love ambers. Like you saw earlier in the video, Alaska Amber is like my favorite beer. I'll fight you for it. Still my favorite beer. So we've got a hoppy red. So when you first taste it, it does taste similar to Alaskan Amber. That is in, 1987, which is when I was born. The best beer in America was actually Alaska Amber. I only learned that from my bus driver, who, I liked him. He was great. I gave him a nice tip. I told him to go have some nice beer. The guy who took me out to the Alaskan Amber Brewery, took me out to Costco and everything like that. Good guy, great guy. Didn't want to be on camera, but yeah, he used to be a tour guide in Alaska. Told me what to do. Here's the problem. Unlike Alaskan Amber, this hoppy red has a harsh finish. You taste it, you're like, okay. And all of a sudden, there's a little sour near the end. I'm over-exaggerating my face just to show you what I'm feeling on the inside. Then we got the Belgian table beer. This is gonna taste like a Belgian beer. Ooh. You know what? I need a little break after that hoppy red. I'll be back with you in a few minutes. Sorry. Hey, look, I don't want to take a knock on Barnaby. That red was actually pretty good, that hoppy red. Had no problem with the hoppy red. It was just beer and liquor and beer and liquor and beer and liquor all at once. So I have this friend. He's called Water. And I had a little bit of that friend. And it's going to let me continue on. So I did finish, well, almost finish. The hoppy red. No problem with that. It's a good beer. It was just, it hit me wrong with everything I had mixed inside my body. So I needed some water. And they don't have Bud Light here. So I just had actual water. Because Bud Light is piss water. Belgian table beer. That is interesting. That tastes like a Belgian beer, a Belgian triple, Belgian quad, Belgian double, but there's not much alcohol in it. Drinks like water. And that's why they let children drink that in Belgium. And making that up. It's not real. And then we got the Hefeweizen, which I think is about 5-ish%. I like this brewery. This brewery much more than Devil's Club. Devil's Club is coming back to fucking curse me now. So, it's a good half. It's a good health. If you're in Juneau, their root beer is really good. If you don't drink, it literally, it tastes like, you ever heard like old-fashioned sarsaparilla? It literally tastes like old-fashioned sarsaparilla. It's one of those things that you're like, is that a thing? This is their root beer here at Barnaby Brewing Company. That belongs in Skagway. Now we're going to be in Skagway tomorrow. So when I say that belongs in Skagway, I know, but guess what? You're all coming along with me, Skagway. Because whether I like it or not, you're here for the tax write-off. Just that. You're here for the tax write-off. That's why you're watching this video. But I am also giving you real, honest, truthful, God-forsaken, good, honest impressions of these places you could go to in these towns that are not super touristy. But at Hefeweizen, probably about 5%. I didn't find a bad beer here. Unlike Devil's Brewing Company, there are bad beers there, but Barnaby's Brewing, there's not a bad beer here. Highly recommend you come over to Barnaby's, which is still independent. Oh God, too much beer. If you happen to be in the Juneau area, it is literally now 7:05 p.m. We don't leave till 11:30 p.m. If you think my ass is going back on the ship before 11 p.m., you are wrong. We're gonna kind of explore everything we can, everything that's open in downtown Juneau. We're gonna go where these employees, if you remember Trace's Crab Shack, the Alaskan Brewing Depot earlier, that closes at 7. It's 7:06. Those employees, the Texas, the Florida, the Mississippi employees, you know what they told me? They told me where they go when the bar closes. Do you think we're going there? Fuck yeah, we're going there! So, we're going. we're gonna finish this brewery tour. We're gonna have some nice food. We're gonna have a grasshopper cake, which is like Captain Jack's berry treasure for those of you that are from the South. And we're gonna have a good friggin' time. I'm not going back out the ship for food tonight. And so Richard, from No Pants Profits, drinking me a root beer and feeling much better after a little bit of Bud Light. I mean, the Bud Light's been filtered. All right, so we got our last 8 ounces from Barnaby Brewing Company. I actually really love the guy that's running this here. We got a Goza right here, and we've got a Mexican beer. Now, I'll tell you, I was looking at the menu, and it says, meet Simcoe. Yes, I like the hop. Our rescue cat from January 2020. She's easily become everybody's famous BBC, not Big Black Cock. Barnaby Brewing Company employee. Please be gentle. She'll come to you for pets if she's interested. And literally right under me, what's your name? Simcoe. Simcoe! Hi. I don't even actually like cats. I really hate cats. But Simcoe, she likes the pets. She wants to play, or she wants to bite me. I don't really know. You want to play or bite? Play. Yeah, she wants to bite. I don't know that she's gotten her rabies shots. But that is Simcoe, the cat over here at Barnaby. Hi. Oh, she kind of wants to break skin. That is Simcoe, the cat. Oh, you want to play? I mean, she's going to kill me. You want to play? I don't like cats. Hi. Oh, God. I think she wants to kill me. I mean, she's literally biting me over and over. There's a kitty! I hate cats. My favorite cat is fried at a Chinese restaurant. But that's Simcoe. And she likes belly rubs, maybe. Or just hates belly rubs. We're the Barnaby Brewing Company. Let's try our last 2. Told you what they were a minute ago. That's the Mexican lager. And that is the Seasick. That's a Saison. So we got here. Saison. A little sourer than normal. Kind of expected for a Saison. Good beer though. Then we got a Mexican beer. Let's try that Mexican beer. Give it a second. The cat was not happy with what the hell I just did. Mexican beer. Any of you have a HD? You can see the cat got me pretty good there. But I'm a stupid human being, and I'm going to go back and say hi to the cat again. After the Native Land, which is a Mexican-style lager, right here. I mean, if I had a breathalyzer, it would tell me that visiting the cat again is probably a very bad idea. And I'm sorry for those of you that have the microphone. That's everyone has a microphone in their ear. I'm not faking this. I don't know how much beer I've had today, but I've had some really interesting local beer here in Juneau, and I really hope they have some local beer in Skagway. I know they have some local chili. I know they have some local shows, but I want some local beer in Skagway. Here's some Mexican beer. Here's some Bud Light. Do you, if you made it so far in this video, do you know what's the same between drinking Bud Light and having sex on a cruise ship? They're both fucking close to water. Let's say hi to Simcoe again. Why? Because I guess I don't value my life. There's Simcoe. Simcoe, hi. You hate me already. It's okay. Do you hate me? We're good? We're good? Simcoe is, she's playing the honey butter game. You know how many shits she gives? She gives 0 shits. Now, I don't know if there are any more breweries or distilleries in this town. My research says, it says you're burping up beer. But my research says ain't inclusive, and my hand says stop throwing yourself at cats. So hopefully, I think the next place we're gonna go is we're gonna go to the pier on the wharf, maybe, if there's no other breweries. I don't know. And we're gonna have some, like, my favorite dessert ever. It's my birthday in like less than a month, and my favorite dessert is mint chocolate chip. So I done want me some of that mint chocolate chip ice cream cake. I am excited. The cat is gone. The only thing better than one missing cat is 2 missing cats. But the cat is gone, and hopefully we're gonna have a good time with the pier on the wharf. Join along, shall ya? Hey, look, guys. I got no reason to lie. I face planted on concrete last place. Still have all my things, but my lift got hit and it's gone a little bit. But it's time. Oh, it's City Hall of Alaska's capital city. We're not going there. We are going to the hangar on the wharf. Think of it like if you live in the southeastern United States, you know Ale House. Think of it like the Alaskan version of Ale House, and they have an ice cream cake that's made with mint chocolate chip ice cream. And without fail, every time I am in Juneau, I get that ice cream cake. So I'm gonna get me the grasshopper. I'll probably get me some other stuff at the hangar on the wharf. And why do they call it the hangar on the wharf? Because it's literally the hangar on the wharf. It's the hangar for all the seaplanes that are coming back. You'll see Taku Lodge. Most people fly to Taku Lodge, and this is all the seaplanes for Taku Lodge. Wings Airway, Taku Glacier Lodge, Juneau, Alaska. You see everything like that, but I really, I mean, look at this. Look at this place. It's 8 o'clock at night. It's still bright as hell. It's just beautiful out here. Like, you can't write this. It's like a story friggin' book. You could see the Taku Glacier Lounge, which is a remote lodge with history, 25 air miles from downtown Juneau. Hey, look, guys, don't fly in Alaska. You might say, hey, Rich, why don't I fly in Alaska? Because so many planes and helicopters crash every year, and the cruise lines cover that shit up. Now, you'll see we've got the, crap, what the hell is that? That's a Royal Caribbean ship. We got a Princess ship, and our Carnival ship down there, like third in line, is actually now docked. So we can go back to a dock. I think we're gonna definitely be the last one out of here. So I do want to go ahead and I want to go to my favorite place in Juneau. We've been to a lot of breweries. I bruised my lip hitting a floor on the brewery. But I want to go to the hangar. Because the hangar is just like well known. The hangar on the wharf is just kind of the place you go when you're in Juneau. Because if you go back to the Carnival ship now, it's 7 o'clock at night, you're going to wait 2 hours to get seated for dinner. The hangar on the wharf, making fart noises, is the place to go. So we're going to the hangar on the wharf. I don't know what we're going to get for a main meal, but you know what I do know? I know. We are getting that grasshopper ice cream pie for dessert. So I don't think this is the right entrance. Let's go in the actual entrance of the hangar on the wharf, open daily from 11 a.m. in Juneau. And remember that aircraft here have the right of way. I mean, you're literally not going to find a better restaurant anywhere in the United States than the hangar on the wharf. That's literally the ship that is going out, and you can kind of see it kind of sailing out. And we are in the Carnival Luminosa, the last ship to leave, which is going to leave about midnight. So, yeah, hangar on the wharf. I mean, come on, literally, this is a storybook. You'll see the Alaska mountains right there, and you'll see the cruise ship leaving behind. I love the hangar on the wharf. It's probably my favorite restaurant that still exists after COVID in all of Alaska. And I am excited because I know I'm getting ice cream cake regardless of what I order. But I mean, just look at this. I mean, just look at this. Look at the cruise ships leaving and everything like that. It looks like a movie. It looks like this should be fake. It looks like it should be a Star Wars hotel and shouldn't exist. I love this place. Hangar on the Wharf, 100% recommended, right here in Juneau, Alaska. I mean, literally, if you're not at Hangar on the Wharf when the ships pull out, that's not your ship because you don't want to see your ship pull away. You're a moron. This right here, I really hope you can see this. This is Radiance of the Sea pulling away with everything behind it and everything like that. It's just, it's magical. You'll see the seaplanes landing earlier in the day and everything like that. I mean, Hangar at the Wharf, chef's kiss. I love this place. I don't care about the beer because obviously I face planted 25 minutes ago. So we ain't gonna have beer for a while. We're gonna have some water. But yeah. I'm gonna be honest, I literally don't know what this camera can capture. I mean, like, the scene in front of me is insane. And if this camera can capture it, I mean, I have my Alaskan Amber. If you are here after the ships start to pull out, Hangar on the Wharf is where you should be. I mean, look at this. Look at these ships pulling out. It's literally, like, magical. It's like, we're here till midnight. It is 8:13 p.m. This is the place to be right now. Hangar on the Wharf. Mind-blowing. I got myself a jambalaya because I love jambalaya. And I don't want to go back to the ship and fight the people to get on the friggin' get in the dining room. Because I have select dining. Everyone's on tour, missed their early seating. So it's just a disaster right now. So another night where I don't go to the Carnival dining room. We're going to get some jambalaya and like my favorite dessert in all of Alaska, which is the grasshopper cake. And generally these ships leave that I'm on leave about 9. We don't leave till midnight. So I think we got some more mischief to go through and maybe I'll fall on the floor again. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad. Maybe I'll fall on the floor again. All the teeth are still there. Just a little irritation right there from me hitting the floor. Maybe I'll fall on the floor again. We'll see when we get to, as we continue our little outing in Juneau. I have no clue how long this is. I have no clue where we've been. At this point, I don't even know anymore, but I mean, just take a look. All the ships leaving out and everything like that. I really hope that you can actually see that. And the beauty, I mean, this literally looks like a fake window. The hangar on the wharf is the place to go in Juneau. And if you don't believe me, you're wrong. You're just wrong. Let's see what we get for dinner. Holy hell, goddamn. I got my jambalaya. This thing is insane. I think I'm gonna sober up just drinking this. And we gotta go to a couple more bars after this because even though I face planted at the last brewery, look at that. That is a jambalaya. We got some shrimp, we got sausage mixed in there and everything like that. The pier on the wharf does not mess around. I mean, I've been coming to this place since I worked on cruise ships. I come to this place every time, and it's never disappointed me. I mean, if you're from the southeast, it's like an ale house, but better. It's like an Alaskan ale house, but it's an ale house, but better. I mean, look at that jambalaya yet again. For under 20 bucks, you're not gonna get a meal like that on Carnival. It says like Emerald's quality stuff, and if you know what I'm talking about, you know the celebration and the Mardi Gras. But I mean, the view, the meal, the meal. And guess what? We still have dessert coming. Literally my favorite dessert in all of Alaska. I am excited for you to see this dessert. My first time ever showing it on No Pants Properties. So I have to wrap up saying this is my second favorite restaurant in the world. And why? I mean, the view is kind of unparalleled. My first favorite restaurant in the world, because you can't say second favorite restaurant in the world without telling the truth. My favorite restaurant in the world is called Old Hansa. It is in Tallinn, Estonia, which is somewhere that's really kind of hard to get to right now. But they even have a mint here at the hangar on the wharf. They have a mint chocolate chip ice cream cake, which some reason has a smiley face on it for dessert. I mean, the view, the food, everything here. I'm not sure where we're going to wind up after this. Whether we're going back to the ship, we're not going back to the ship. We're going to cause more trouble. Whether we're going back to the ship or not, it is currently right now 9:05 p.m. Ship does not leave till 11:30, so that gives us another, let's say, 2 hours to kind of cause trouble without going to any major tourist attractions. From my second favorite restaurant in the world, the hangar on the wharf. I mean, goddamn, look at that view. And goddamn, look at that smiley face pie. And the hangar on the wharf in Juneau, Alaska. This is Richard. I'll see where the night takes us, because I don't need to pass out again on a floor in a brewery. Unfortunately, all the breweries are closed. But let's see where this night takes us from here. Happy self with my grasshopper pie, which is a mint chocolate chip ice cream cake from the hangar on the wharf in Juneau, Alaska, with this just completely unreal view right here. It is incredible. There is no view like this. Old Hansa only beats it because of the environment, but this view here, again, is just absolutely frigging incredible. You know, we're headed out of dinner at a hangar on the wharf. My second favorite restaurant in the world, after Old Hansa in Estonia. in town, Estonia. And I mean, just freaking look at this view. Like, it's incredible. Now you'll see there's 2 boats over there. The second ship, there's Luminosa. It's not leaving. Well, it's not even thinking about leaving for another 2 hours. So, the question is, what trouble can we cause on the way back to the boat? I don't know. I don't know what's open. I don't know what trouble we can cause. I don't know any of that. We might just go back to the boat, but if we can find some trouble to cause, I mean that in the most sarcastic way possible. It seems like the one of the ships is leaving, but not the Luminosa, because that's an 11:30 departure. And trust me, this is all crew members out here, especially housekeeping crew members. Right here at the Filipino food stall, yeah. So, they have an inaugural team for Carnival Luminosa. So if you're wondering what they do, I don't like to show crew members on video, but right over here, like right in these mountains, I'll point it to you. I'd say Filipino food stall that makes food from Filipinos' hometown, and they really love what's going on. It's also literally 9:30 at night, and it is still bright out here. There are no street lights needed or anything like that. Watch this. I'm gonna point to the street lights. The street lights are gonna turn on. Oh, thank God they didn't. But I mean, what's going on here in this town? It's just stunningly beautiful. And you know, next week I'm gonna be back here as more of a tourist, not someone that wants to go to every brewery, not someone that plans on. I didn't plan on this, but you know, not someone that plans on face planning into a concrete floor because they think 32 ounces of liquor times 4 is not that much. Guess what, guys? I hate to agree with the Alaska government, but when you face plant onto the floor in your 5th brewery, you probably shouldn't be at that 5th brewery. And I say that as I'm like, ooh, there's another bar that we can go to. Because if I go on the Carnival ship, all I'm going to drink is Australian beer. But if I stay outside, I've got all the Alaskan amber one could ever want. And there's a place I'm walking by right now called the Grizz Bar. I'm walking across the street. I don't know, he's tooting. He's tooting too. By tooting, I mean these scooters are tooting. There's no cars coming this way. This is called the Grizz Bar. All I see is fire. And I love fire. So instead of going to a, famous place, we might as well go to the Grizz Bar and grab a drink here before going back to the Carnival Luminosa. Again, we could go to some famous places, or, we can go to the Grizz Bar. And I think we're going to the Grizz Bar. So my bus driver earlier, his favorite beer was actually the Kolsch from Alaskan Brewing Company, and I can't say I've ever had that before, but I stopped at this bar. I really, truly, honestly don't remember the name of it, kind of on the way back, but here's the bar right here. You can see they got fire pits over there and everything like that, but I got the Alaskan Brewing Company Kolsch. Not a beer I can't remember having before. Ooh, that's a good beer. As the sun sets literally behind me on our day in Juneau, I'm still not sure if this is our last stop or not. If we find something else open, we're gonna have another beer. Because, that's just kind of the way the world works. You find something open, you grab another beer. But this is me from, hold on.
We're not
Let's see
here.
where we are real quick. We're not leaving the premises. We are at the Grizz Bar. And you can see they've got fire, which is, not really even fire. But here's what happens. This is all the locals that work in this area. Everybody that's working in this area in the hospitality industry, doing tours, running store excursions and stuff like that. This is where they come at night. And I'm not telling you to come here if you're an annoying tourist, but if you want to get to know some locals, hold on. I need bunny ears. We talked in the first day. These locals were locals for a week and a half. If you want to get to know some locals, this is the place to do it. The Grizz Bar, which is right on the main street, opens a bit later in the day. All the cruise ships are gone, other than the Carnival Luminosa, and this right here is the place to be. And this chair looks comfortable as hell. The problem is, my fat ass gets in that chair right there. Again, there's no external lighting here. I mean, it's still sunny out here at almost 10 o'clock at night. My fat ass gets in that chair right there. I'm never getting up again. So I think I'm gonna sit in our normal stool right over there at the Grizz Bar so I can get moving and maybe hit one more place before I make it back to the Carnival Luminosa. We're passing on. God, we got off the ship at 2. It's almost 10. 8 hours outside. I know it's crazy, but that's why you watch this channel. You don't watch this channel to do everything I do, but you watch this channel to decide, what does this crazy guy do? But I don't want to face plant at a brewery, but I want to go ahead and do kind of what he does, and that is why you're here at No Pants Profits. So it is 10 o'clock. I'm still at the same bar, because why the hell do you leave perfection? They've got a fire pit out here, makes it nice and warm outside. I might have another Kolsch here. There's really no need to leave the warmth and coolness of this bar, the Grift Bar, the Grit Bar, whatever it is. I really, at this point, I don't know what the name of this bar is, and that's perfectly fine. But, let the fire and the beer take you away. And tomorrow, we will be in Skagway, Alaska. In my opinion, the inspiration for Disney's Frontierland. Whether Walt Disney wants to admit it or not, we're going to where there's gold in them there hills. Now, most people that go to Skagway go on the train. We're not going on the train tomorrow. We're going to visit all of my favorite local haunts, breweries, barbecue places, everything like that. It is going to be a great friggin' time. I don't know if we're going to stop somewhere else before the ship, but if we do, you'll see it back here. If we go back to the boat, you'll see it here too. So, understanding Juneau, I want to show you Juneau as you've never seen it before. We got on the ship all the way down there. That's where our, goddamn, 9 hours ago, that is where our tender docked. 9 hours ago now. And we're headed back there. Now, we don't have a tender now. The whole boat should actually be there. But just so you can see how quiet these streets are, this is where we started. Remember the Alaska Brewing Public House? That's where we started. You remember the Alaska Brewing Depot? It's a little dark. Hold on. Let me use some magic to help you. You remember the Alaska Brewing Depot? Yeah, Alaskan Brewing Company Depot. So that's where we started. We're heading back the way we came. I really don't think, I'm going to hold this to my face. I really don't think I need to face plant in Alaska again. So at about 10 p.m., I am headed back to the Carnival Lumosa. And the locals are yelling, go home. Probably not to me, but to somebody else. I'm headed back to the Carnival Lumosa, which is probably the only other ship here back in port. Now, you're watching this video and you're saying, hey, look, I'm a tourist. It's my first time in Alaska. I want to go to the Mendenhall Glacier. I want to go to this place right here we're walking by. Tracy's King Crab Shack. I don't know how much I can like that. You want to go to all those places. You know what I say to you? Go. Go check it out. Next week in Juneau, we'll be doing what's coming up in front of me right now, which is the Mount Roberts Tramway, which goes to the top of a mountain. And if you come in May or early June, and you're a southern resident like me, I'm a Florida boy, you will actually see snow up on top of the mountain. You'll see snow. For me, seeing snow is quite an event of its own. But as the sun sets on our day in Juneau, and I head back to the cruise ship, I'm Richard from No Pants Profits, and you've joined me for the last questionable amount of time, and if you've really watched this, I thank you. You're a trooper. I've literally got my light on my cell phone pointing at my face. And you know, I remind you, if you watch this, and you watch this video, when you wear no pants, like me, well, normally, not on vacation, I'm wearing pants now because it's like 40 degrees outside. You've only got one thing left to lose, and that is your shirt. I will see you all in Skagway tomorrow, but until then, have a great day. This is Richard from No Pants Profits saying, hey, woo, echo. There's the tramway. See the tram going all the way up to the top of the mountain? Trust me, next week, we will be doing this, that, whatever's right behind me. This is Richard from No Pants Profits saying, when you're in no pants, you've only got one thing left to lose, and that is your shirt. Have a great one. See you in Skagway tomorrow. Bye!